Okay, this video we are going to focus on some of the facts that you can see if you understand some properties of the periodic table. And so what I have created here is a periodic table that is color-coded, has up-to-the-date information about the average atomic mass of each element. I have put the group numbers across the top using the A and B method, and I have put the period numbers down the sides so that you can see which period each element would be in. You might also notice down here there's a 6 and a 7, and these are the periods that these rows occur in, and so this 6 actually occurs right after element number 57, so it actually belongs here, and you see a star here and a star there. And then you see 2 stars here, and it says 7. That's because it belongs in the 7th period of the periodic table. But there's just 14 elements that have been pulled down to another row, but the row actually belongs in the 7th period. And so we're going to use this periodic table to look at some different kinds of facts and information. So this first one, I have all these headings, but a lot of it is just kind of repeat information. And this is just information that we can get from the periodic table. And so this first question is about magnesium, and we want to see if we can figure out what the symbol or the ion symbol would be. So ions have a charge, elements are neutral. And the charge is right here in the middle column. It says 0. So this would be a neutral element. And so I'm going to just put the periodic table down here so we can look at it. And so magnesium, its symbol is just Mg. So I'm just going to type Mg for its symbol. And it's not an ion, so it won't have a charge in the upper right-hand corner. Okay, the atomic number for an element. The atomic number is the number that is in the same box for the element. It's the whole number that's usually written above the symbol. And so you see a 12. And so 12 is the atomic number for magnesium. The atomic number helps define which element it is. Magnesium is the only element with atomic number of 12. And the reason it has an atomic number of 12 is because it has 12 protons. Anything with 12 protons is magnesium, no matter how many electrons it has or how many neutrons. If it has 12 protons, it is an atom of magnesium. So the next column is the number of electrons. Electrons and protons, these numbers together give us the charge. And so anything with a neutral charge, what that means, it has just as many negative electrons as it does positive protons. So those are the same. Electrons, though, are in the outer orbitals that surround the nucleus. And so the nucleus, they've got 12 protons that are in the nucleus. Because it's neutral, it also has 12 electrons. Then we have what's called atomic mass. So what is atomic mass? Atomic mass is the decimal number that you see underneath the symbol. This is the average of all of the naturally occurring atoms of magnesium. And so there are atoms of magnesium that weigh more than 24, some that weigh 24, and then there are a few that weigh less than 24. They average together based on their abundance to be 24.305, and that is called the atomic mass. Sometimes you'll see it called average atomic mass or average atomic weight. But this is the number that's on the periodic table, so 24.305. That's not the mass of an atom, it's the average of the element magnesium. Classification, M stands for metal, NM stands for nonmetal, and MD stands for metalloid. I have color-coded this so that the tan color are all of the metals, the green are the metalloids, and the blue are the nonmetals. So most of the periodic table is a metal. And so magnesium atoms are metallic atoms. So we would put that it is a metal. And then where is the box located? What period number and group number do we have for magnesium? So magnesium is here. The group number is the number at the top, that's 2A, and the period number is the row that is in, that's 3. And so it is in period 3 and group 2A. Some of the groups have special family names. And so the family name of any atom that is in 2A, those are called the alkaline earth metals. So if we move on to our next example, we have number of protons of 14. However many protons there are, that is also the atomic number, so that would be 14. And if there is a zero charge, that's also the number of negative electrons it has. So it also has 14 electrons. But before we figure all this other information, we've got to find where it is. So number of protons 14, atomic number 14, that means it is element number 14. So if you look at the periodic table, element number 14 is Si, and that is in group 4A and period 3. So the group is 4A and the period is 3. And it is element Si. Si stands for the element silicon. So now we just need to see what is its average atomic mass, and is it a metal, nonmetal, metalloid? So it is in green, which means it is a metalloid, and its average atomic mass is 28.086. 28.086. And it is a metalloid, and that is the MD abbreviation. And there is no special family name for group 4A. Okay, let's skip down and let's do one where we have our atomic number and we have a number of electrons. Atomic number is the same number as the protons. So if the atomic number is 19, there are 19 protons. But if you look next to it, we're given that there's only 18 electrons. So there aren't equal numbers. There's more protons here than there are electrons. Electrons are negative, protons are positive. So if we have more positives, that means our charge will be positive. And the way that we can calculate charge, our charge is going to be equal to our number of protons minus our number of electrons. So 19 protons minus 18 electrons, and that will end up equaling positive 1. So if the numbers are not equal, it's not just 1, it means there's more positive, so that's a charge, so you need to put a positive 1 there. And so this ion will have a positive 1 charge. So when we write the symbol, it won't be an element, which is neutral, it'll be an ion. So we're going to have to put a charge, but we need to know what element is element number 19. So if we take a look, element number 19 is K. And so that would be K, and then the charge goes in the upper right-hand corner. And the name of K, that is the potassium, and we're just going to say it's the potassium ion. So let's go through and see if we can see what its average atomic mass is. 39.098, and it is in group 1A, period 4. Period 4, group 1A. group 1A is a metal. It's on the metal side. And any element that is in group 1A, except for hydrogen, those are called the alkali metals. So group 1A metals are called the alkali metals. So let's just do one more. Let's do one where we have the protons and we have the charge. And so we need to use the information to figure out the other data. And so this is element with 35 protons, which would mean its atomic number is 35. And so if we take a look at a periodic table and we find element with 35 protons, that would be Br, and its average atomic mass is 79.904. 79.904. And that would be Br, but it has a -1 charge, so that has to go in the upper corner because it's an ion. And the Br negative ion, if it's an element and an anion, which is the negative ion, the ion name ends in IDE for the nonmetal element ion, so that would be bromide. So the bromine ion is called bromide. So we just need to figure out how many electrons are there. So we know that it has a -1 charge, and we know that there are 35 protons, and so we have to subtract a certain number of electrons. And so 35 minus something should give us -1. And so when you rearrange this, you will see that it would take 36 electrons. So 35 minus 36 is -1. So that would be 36. 35 minus 36 is going to give us -1 for the charge. Bromine is in group 7A. It is in blue, which means it's a non-metal, and it is in period 4. So it is a non-metal. It's in period 4. And it's in group 7A. The non-metals that are in 7A are called the halogens. So it is a halogen. So if you go back and look again at the periodic table, even if it was not color-coded, you could still see the shape. All of the elements in the upper right-hand corner of the periodic table are nonmetals, and then hydrogen is over here. It is also a nonmetal. The other elements that are to the left and at the bottom are metals.